What's up, guys? Chris here from Mainly Mesh. Gonna get to answering your questions now. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it completely unscripted, not like any of my normal videos are unscripted. But so I just have the YouTube comments pulled up right here on my computer, and I'm just gonna scroll through and try to hit all of them. So the first, Spartan Lacrosse. Would you ever make your own mesh? Probably not. Tyler Cunningham. If you had to use one head for both field and box, what would it be? Plot twist. Has to be NCAA legal. NASX. Would you rather have $3 or have your favorite WNBA team win the championship? Okay, I'm not going to answer that one, but I'm going to answer it with another question saying, would you rather be the worst player in the NBA or the best player in the WNBA? With the catch being you get paid the same amount of money. So it's not about money. It's about being the worst player in the WNBA. I mean, the best player in the WNBA or the worst player in the NBA. So riddle me that. Make a Scepter 7 review. Not a question, but maybe. Face-off head, face-off stringing, face-off mesh. Would you recommend Otter Mesh for facing off? Nike CEO. Still working on my face-off stringing theory. Actually, my hunch is that you want to do a lot of ones, maybe interlocks. Still working on it. Face-off mesh. Probably still go with String King 1S. Otter Mesh is great too for it though. If you could go to college, to any college for lacrosse, what would it be? Also, what's your favorite mesh? I'll answer the first one. Easily Johns Hopkins. Coolest. UNC. To be sponsored by Nike and have Carolina Blue. I mean, come on. Best lacrosse experience. Whew. Actually, no, I had one. When my team and I went to Portugal this past winter. We played the English national team, not the full national team, but all the guys who were living in England at that time. It was just a bizarre experience playing on a foreign field in a foreign country, and I played one of the better games I've ever played, and the team played really well, and it was just that was a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm not giving all the names for all these, but SC Dies, how have you become so successful? I look good. Thoughts on the hashtag Panda Squad? Who showed you the greatest game ever? I'm assuming you mean lacrosse, and if you didn't mean lacrosse, then you're wrong. My father did. He played lacrosse in college, Amherst College. He also played hockey there. And so I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, then moved up to Maine when I was for first and second grade, went back down to Georgia for third and fourth, and then I'd been playing baseball that whole time. And when we moved back up to Maine, my dad was like, look, I was terrible at baseball. Horrible. Probably batted 50, and I mean like 0.50. To the point where my parents felt so bad for me. I was batting 16th out of 16th. They got me hitting lessons, and then I was finally able to have some respectable at-bats. But then I came back up. I wanted to stick with baseball. My dad said, you have to try 1 year of lacrosse, and that's the only thing I'm ever going to force you to do athletically. But you have to try it once, and then you can choose whatever you want to. First few weeks, I hated it. We were indoors in this gym in Portland, and my stuff didn't fit, and I was miserable. But once we got out on the field, I was hooked, and that was that. Isaac Mathis, how do you put a channel in a goalie stick? Well, what you're going to want to do is take a good channel like this, and then put it in your goalie stick. Second option being if you just want to have a diverse selection of channels in your goalie stick, just take your clicker. I mean, that has access to all the channels you could want, and then put that in your goalie stick, 2 for 2. Ben Crotty. Ooh, I wish. Almost Ned backwards. Favorite head plus favorite lacrosse brand. Warrior Nas X, Maverick, Ripwood, STX. Matthew Keynes, if you had to use pasta to string ahead, what types of pasta would you use? I'd probably go with tortellini, curveball. Scariest and best moment of your lacrosse career, from Burnt Mellow. Scariest was my junior year, and you'll see a snippet of this when I'm working on a fun video for you guys. Junior year of high school, it's a game before the playoffs against our rival school. I was just running in a straight line, and a guy stepped on my ankle from behind and tore the little ligament that holds down the big tendon. Oh, it's gonna get personal. You can't see the scar. Oh, I almost fell over. But so it didn't really hurt that much. It just felt like somebody stepped on my foot, and then I stood up and took 2 steps. And what happened was, when you tear that ligament, your tendon flips over the bone and just almost like it just sends the shooting pain through your leg. So I collapse. Then I sit there, but it's fine because it doesn't hurt anymore. It only hurts for like 10 seconds. So then I get back up and I take one good step, and then I take another and I collapse again. I was just like, wow, this is really weird. Ended up being a 6-month surgery. I missed all college recruiting process. But hey, everything happens for a reason. Best moment of my lacrosse career, probably the Portugal thing again. Trying to think of another fun one. Also, kid I coached at camp this past summer. Leighton Johnston, shout out. We'd been working on face-offs the entire summer, doing some crazy stuff, doing the laser, doing a good clamp and pinch forward, and doing a nice deflator was kind of my personal favorite move. And we were playing another camp, and he just threw a perfect deflator, and I got so excited celebrating the face-off that I didn't even see him go down and score the goal. But that was pretty awesome. Am I related to any celebrities? Isn't there that ESPN announcer, Burke? I always say she's my sister. Also, do I like salad? Yes. Sinjun Bushnell, are you coming to Hawaii for the annual tournament in October? No. NY Laxer 818553. If that's your zip code, that's not a good idea. How fast do I shoot? 93 miles an hour. Question, where in Maine do you live? I live in Falmouth. Ethan Chapman. Thanks, Ethan Chapman. I live in Cape Elizabeth, Maine right now, moving to Portland soon. The Random Gamer with zeros. What's your favorite dog breed? Nova Scotia Duck-Tolling Retriever. Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker. Do you have a pattern for a Rabel High School? I can't find one anywhere. No. Maple Lax. Biggest pet peeve that has to do with people's comments on Instagram. Just people trying to sell stuff or any mean thing. Derek Pham, what's your favorite stick, setup, head, shaft, and mesh and pocket style? Warrior OG Blade, F15, Otter Mesh, high pocket. Matthew Barman, I notice you do your ones through the top of the mesh hole. Why? I find it gives a little better channel. I think going through the bottom, I do it through the top here. That's a good catch. No one really asked me about that. I stand by it a lot, actually. I think it's worth a try. I preference thing, but I like it more. Top cheddar, low pie, or mid biscuit? Shout out Low Pie Lacrosse on Instagram. I'm going to pretend the second one wasn't a question and rip the duck. Duh. Do you have a girlfriend and do you touch melons? From Jake Perrine. I do not have a girlfriend, and I don't think watermelon's in season right now. Anyways, Rishi A, can you describe the benefits of having a defined pocket versus a shift pocket or bag? That's a big theory video. Consistency. Also, favorite lacrosse player of all time, John Grant Jr. What do you think? Sergey Balikov, nailed it. What do you think about braided nylons and shooting string as the bottom string? I'm not as big of a fan of shooting string as the bottom string. because I like my pockets. My pockets so defined, and so it's nice to have that linearity that only a thin nylon can have. But you kind of need the shooting strings for String King. Braided nylons, I think it's just a little clunky, but for the people who like the feel of the ball hitting off the top of the head, it can be a good alternative for a lower pocket. I'm trying to start an Instagram page for my stringing business called Lancer_Strings with a Z. How do you recommend I get more followers? First off, add more Z's, at least 3. Matt Sherbert, what part of Maine do you live in? The southern part. Aiden Murphy, how would sidewall pattern affect whip and channel? It would affect it a lot. What is your favorite head and shaft combo of all time? Gate Diesel, Warrior Cryptolite. Best college advice, Sam Welsh. I'm looking and majoring in the same field as you. Hey, I like that. Study. Be curious. Show up to class. Strings beyond things. Chris, I really need a girlfriend. I'm ugly. How do I get one? Anonymous. Well, hypothetically speaking, if you need a girlfriend and you're ugly, what I would love to say is be a really good person, but I've tried that for a long time and I've been really unsuccessful with it. So probably you're just going to want to be a douchebag. Quinn McGinnis, superstitions and what things defenders do that piss you off. Ooh, I like this one. I was a lot more superstitious in high school, and then I kind of ditched it in college pretty much entirely. In high school, I used to do weird stuff like what I would wear on game day, but I don't really do much anymore. I'm trying to think of anything. Yeah, not really. And then things defenders do that make me mad. I think what really annoys me is, because I'm pretty quiet, so I don't instigate a lot. Really, the only thing that gets to me is when like kids just talk really positively nonstop the entire game, because I feel inclined to respond, and I'm just really not interested in what they're saying. And he's just being a genuinely nice guy and asking about me, asking about my year, want to know what's up, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I like playing lacrosse. I don't really want to get to know you. I'm an introvert, and and that's what gets me. Kaido Richmond, when did you start playing lacrosse? 5th grade. By Squints, would you rather stand in cage and take a shot from Mike Sawyer with goalie pads on, or go one-on-one with Brian Spalina? One-on-one. Mike T, best value head for guys on a budget or looking for a cheap backup. Depends on how cheap you're going. Let's go with Gate Torque to keep it as cheap as possible. I'm Sin. I hope that's your name and not some strange devil worship satanic thing. Where do babies come from? Mothers. Nick Powers, how did you learn to string? I strung a lot. And then actually, so I kind of taught myself up until college. And then in college, what changed me in college was just watching East Coast Dies EvoX Mark Matthews style tutorial, because that had a stacked SI, that had it had a few different knots in it, and that was basically all I needed to kind of hit the ground running and start going with stuff my own. And then I first tried my first anchor knot with when Ustring came out, and someone showed me the knotted SI, or I stumbled across it on Instagram thanks to High Strung Lacrosse. I know he didn't come up with it. And then I just strung a lot of sticks. What's your favorite attack head? NozX, Blake Vest. On a scale of soda to potato, how meh are you? I'm going to go with lukewarm tea. Oleum Productions. Can you do a Marcus Holdman replica pocket? No. Brad Hart, what's your favorite flavor and brand of tea? I'm big into that nighttime tea by some weird brand. Brandon Schwartz, can you post a Nike Legacy pattern? Funny you mentioned it. You were the guy on Instagram. Yeah, it's up. It's up. It's loaded now. What's your favorite mesh and why? String King 1X consistency. What college do I go to? Hashtag dropout. Noah Barrett, how many times have you been scared of a hit during a lax game? Okay, I'm not even saying this to be tough. I just, like, I think it's because I've always been so tall and skinny. I get knocked over a lot, and since I'm so tall, like, I have a long time to fall to the ground, and, you know, I've only had one concussion, knock on wood, and it's because I got punched in the head, so I'm never really scared of a hit. Doesn't mean I shouldn't work on not getting hit. How do you improve accuracy on your shot? Shoot. String cannon. Did you play any other sports in high school? Freshman year I played soccer, and then all through high school I also played basketball. How did you get affiliated with Ninja Lax? So, what I did is, actually no, that would be a jerk move. I was gonna call him real quick. I'm not really affiliated with him. I just love that we're working on some. We're idea guys, and so we toss a lot of ideas around. And he has been so generous to me. I mean, words. He's just one of the most generous people I've ever met. So, I like to think he gives me special treatment, but he really hooks up a lot of guys, and credit to him. String cannon. What's your favorite food? Depending on the day, definitely. I'm gonna go with a winter salad with dried cranberries, walnuts, goat cheese, balsamic vinaigrette dressing, and some chopped carrots. Adam Bowers, favorite head, STX Aero, MO Strings Lax. How long does it take you to string a head to your standards? Good question. I've tried to do a speed stringing a few times. I haven't gotten below 11 minutes when I've done that. I think East Coast Mash Greg from East Coast got 9 or something. I can't do that. Usually for me it takes 40-45 minutes, especially if it's a head I've never strung before. Like a Nas X now I can crank out in 30. Most of the time for me is taken up in making a really nice triangle top string. But yeah, if I'm going over sidewall patterns again, 30 to 45 minutes, hour if I'm really struggling with it. Probably need a whole nother video for this, but what's your opinions on all the big meshes out there? ECM and Black, Throne, 1X, and 1S, Otter Mesh, and any other mesh you want to throw in there. Well, I've made a lot of videos about those, so watch those. Who's my favorite MLL player? John Grant Jr. What's a good pattern for an Evo 4 with String King 1S mesh? Did I do a East Coast mesh pattern? Check U-string? I don't know. Sorry, man. Joel DeVries. How do you make deep defined pockets without double and triple ups? I can't figure it out. Stacked SI, baby. New York Lax. Question: how long do you spend your time? How much time do you spend doing lacrosse stuff, stringing, playing lacrosse outside, etc.? More than you. Stupid question. Trevor Foreman. Favorite head, favorite shaft, favorite mesh, favorite head to mesh to shaft combo. Brian Power Grip F55. Warrior Revo X Duramesh. Do you have any siblings, and what's your fastest shot? Yes, I do have one sibling. My fastest shot is 90. I already said that. I don't need to say that again. Nice vid. What's your favorite not stacked SI? That changed the game for me. If you were not a lacrosse player, what other sport would you be interested in playing? Tennis. I've never actually played tennis before, but I think I'd be good at tennis. How do you feel about bucket hats? Great style. What's your fave mesh? What head and long pole should I buy? What is the best? Whatever's the most expensive. If you could go to any college for lacrosse, what would it be? Harcum. And that's a wrap. You guys are awesome. That just made 20 minutes fly by for me. Thanks for giving me something to do. Hope you guys enjoy it. I might do another one of these another time, but enjoy. I'll catch you guys next time.